Gabriel Moreno is back, and the Diamondbacks win one of the most exciting games of the year. You bet your ass I'm turning on this cactus light. Don't you go anywhere. I'm going to scream a lot in 30 seconds. Into another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast, right here live from Studio K. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as a man who proudly celebrated Puerto Rican heritage tonight and watched this Diamondbacks team play one of the most exciting baseball games I have seen them play in a very, very long time. Let that intro play, Damon. It's Hispanic Heritage Weekend. We're letting that's Jesse's vibe. We're letting that roll all the way through. What a win for this Diamondbacks team. Holy crap. They beat the Reds in 11 innings, almost 10, 11 innings there, went a little extra by a score of 6-5, improving this season to 63-66. And what a way to welcome back Gabriel Moreno, who instantly comes into this game and just impacts this game in so many different ways.
Our sweet baby boy.
Our sweet baby boy with his sweet baby boy after the game. Coming back, Corbin Carroll's best friend, here to save the day, and he literally does. Gabriel Moreno, obviously, just thrilled to have him back. And what a night for Gabi. Of course, the Diamondbacks now have played 8 one-run games in their last 13, Damon. 8 one-run games out of their last 13 games. And in those games, the Diamondbacks now have a 5-3 record. They have won 3 games straight. And this is the second consecutive walk-off victory for this team. What? It's their 6th overall. We only have 6 all season long, and they just now have 2 in a row, which is something they have not done in a very long time. In fact, this is the first time the Diamondbacks have consecutive walk-off wins since they had 3 straight from August 12th to August 14th, 2013 against the Orioles. 2013. It has been 12 years, almost to the day, the last time the Diamondbacks had consecutive walk-off wins. And there is so much that we want to hear from in the clubhouse. We have video from Corbin. We have Ketel Marte. We have Gabriel Moreno. Of course, we have Torey Lovullo. And we also hear from Ryne Nelson. But the story of this game is really that Gabi Moreno returns and powers the Diamondbacks to a win, not only with his 3-run homer, but with his incredible tag at the end of, they're in the 10th inning to keep this game a 1-run game, allowing the Diamondbacks to tie it back up in the bottom of the inning and then walk it off in the bottom of the 11th. The Diamondbacks played some of the most electric defense that I've seen them play since the 2023 season. I mean, it was flawless. It was incredible. And I just can't say enough about, again, how well they played late. I don't really think we've seen an outfield assist like we saw Corbin Carroll make tonight from this team, possibly ever. And again, Gabriel Moreno, just the huge driving force tonight, coming back to this team. I mean, the Diamondbacks made some big changes this week. For those of you that may not know, may not have caught our Dbacks trending pod earlier, Gabriel Moreno was reinstated, and the corresponding move was that they DFA'd Jose Herrera. Jose Herrera has been designated for assignment. That was a move that surprised many people based on his time with the organization. It definitely surprised Damon and I. However, it was the right move. It just surprised us because I think so many of us thought they were going to make the wrong move. So many of us thought that they were going to part ways with James McCann, who quite frankly has been outstanding since joining this team. Maybe he's not an all-star caliber catcher back there, but I stand James McCann and this man and what he's done so far for this team. Again, he's not perfect, but it definitely feels like things have changed drastically since James McCann joined the Diamondbacks. Now you can pair that together with Gabi Moreno and have essentially McCann's veteran presence, leadership, tutelage over Gabi, and Gabi performing the way he did tonight. He looked rested. He looked ready to go. And it was just incredible to see what he did. He called a great game behind the plate early on to Ryne Nelson. I saw Ryne Nelson throw more breaking balls early in the first inning than I've ever seen him throw. We're going to get to it, but he had Cincinnati Reds fans accusing Ryne Nelson of having pine tar on his hat. That's how good Ryne Nelson was in the first inning. But he just had a great game plan back there with Ryne Nelson early on. And so, again, it's just great to see that Gabi, that Gabi has such an impact on this game in returning, and again, behind the plate, at the plate, it doesn't matter. This man was out there. He was killing it for this team. The bottom of the third inning, Corbin Carroll got on base with a leadoff walk. One hitter later, Pavin Smith reaches on catcher's interference. And then in his second at-bat back, Gabi Moreno hit a 3-run bomb that gave the Snakes a 4-2 lead at the time. It was his 6th home run of the season, went 403 feet to left field, and it went out in a hurry at 106.8 mile per hour exit velo. It was his first home run since back in June 10th versus the Mariners, and this was his third 3+ RBI game of 2025. And then with the game tied in the 9th inning, he hit a leadoff single. He would not advance there in that situation, but overall, I feel like the way that the Diamondbacks played there late was the impressive thing. Even with mistakes made by their bullpen, even with their bullpen not being able to hold the lead, even with John Curtis literally throwing a ball away that allowed the go-ahead run to score in the 10th inning, the Diamondbacks did not give up. They did not acquiesce. They did not go quietly into the night. They instead fought back and, again, played some of the best defense that we've ever seen. Corbin Carroll's relay from the outfield to Gabi Moreno
unreal
was one of the greatest throws I've seen any of these young outfielders make.
I was moved spiritually when that happened, Derek.
Put it in the Louvre. Hang it in a museum.
It's more than that. Frankly, it's more than that. It's a religious experience. Yeah. It was more than just like art and culture. That was everything to me. And
it meant everything to me.
I was texting with Jacob Franklin, and I was in awe of how this man he was such a 4-tool player, right? And that was always the MO. Like Jesse, we talked about it with him. If you're going to have any tool you're not going to have any tool, it's going to be the throwing arm.
Yeah.
But sure. Corbin Carroll wasn't satisfied with that. He went to the offseason and he drastically improved that aspect of his game. And frankly, he won the game with that throw tonight.
Yeah. Maze Devil, I completely agree with you. When I saw him lining up the momentum that he was going to get with that catch and bring it home, I was like, oh, we have a real chance for this to be a good throw. I didn't think it was going to be a great throw. I didn't think it was going to be a perfect throw, but it was an even more perfect tag.
Yeah. And that was the other aspect of it. Like that shouldn't go underlooked at all. I tweeted it at the time, Derek. Could you imagine Jose Herrera attempting to make that tag?
No, and again, I don't want to attack Jose Herrera in this situation.
No, but just think about it for a second.
Yeah, no, that's the problem here is that he has made such a huge impact here overall. And, again, it's one game back, and the vibes feel different. You had Ketel Marte in the clubhouse afterwards getting Damon more fired up than any human being ever could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say the B word, but I'm feeling pretty good about this ball club right now. I don't know why.
Is the B word back?
Don't say it.
Oh, man. I just wanted to say it because I feel like we're back. But, yeah, man, I mean, this was an incredible game, an incredible win. A game that honestly late, I'm sure many people thought was not going to go the Diamondbacks' way. And there were reasons too. After Gabi's home run, the offense went very quiet. You could just see the Reds kind of edging their way back in. Elly De La Cruz, watching that man run the bases is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. For some reason, when Corbin does it, because Corbin is a normal-sized human being, it looks right. The speed matches the size of his body, and even though he's very fast, and it's still incredible to watch Corbin do what he does, watching Elly De La Cruz do it is like, it breaks my brain. It didn't even make sense watching him be so fast around the bases and be so big. He was almost like my same height up in the press box away from me. That's how small I am and big he is. But man, just again, they got their way back in. The bullpen kind of let them back, but you just had some amazing moments, and their defense late in the game played, again, better than I've ever seen their defense play late in a game. It started, it felt like, with that basket catch that Alec Thomas made that looked for a moment like he wasn't going to get to it, and he makes an incredible catch there to kind of rob Spencer Steer of what would have been an extra base hit. That helped keep the game tied there heading into the bottom of the ninth and the top of it. But it was, just a combined effort here, and guys kept chipping away. You couldn't keep Geraldo Perdomo off base tonight. You just couldn't. He was a huge factor. He would lead off the game with a walk, and Corbin Carroll would hit a double that would get him over to third base, and he would score on a Lourdes Gurriel sac fly. But he walked 3 times in this game, and he has 18 walks so far in the month of August. He has reached base safely in 18 of his 20 games in the month of August. So Perdomo, again, a big factor, but he's not the guy that's getting the big hits right now. The guy that's been getting the big hits for this team is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And that man just, again, how hot is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. right now, Damon? Like, I cannot stand how good he is at times because of how bad he is at other times. But man, it's great to have good Lourdes. And if he can stay hot between now and the end of the season, you're going to have me start saying crazy things about this team's chances of catching up here in the wild card.
It just feels like you're right. Perdomo's been the constant of all season, but tonight he gets on base 4 times, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even close to the story.
1 for 1 with 3 walks and a run scored. Yeah, but he is just, you're right. He is not the story. The story is pretty much, well, even Lourdes, right? With Lourdes didn't have himself a great night. That hit was his only hit of the game, but what a time for his only hit of the game to come. Another thing that couldn't be said enough about Ketel Marte getting that hit there in the 10th inning, and that 13 pitch at bat that he worked in order for him to get it. Man, I mean, just
Derek,
they wanted this one so bad. And to be fair, we've seen him play a lot of games where we've walked away saying they didn't want it, that they played lackadaisical, that they did not care, and that was what resulted in a loss. Mistakes, mental mistakes, defensive mistakes that they made led to this team losing a lot of close games, and they have not been good in 1-run games this season. But lately, my guys, they have been very good in 1-run games, and hopefully that can continue. Really what this does is just, it feels like it rebuilds the confidence in this team right now that they can get the job done no matter the circumstance. This was one of those games that in May completely slips away from them, and they somehow lose even though they had a lead, or even though that it was tied in the 9th inning, they lose it like 8-5 or 8-4. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this feels, where it was a close game and they had it right up until the end, and they let it slip away. And not only do they let it slip away, but they also kind of just give up at the end, and the opposing team piles on. They did not give up, even though the Reds were able to score a run there in the top of the 10th inning, and honestly put themselves in the position where it looked like they were going to score 2. That play ended up being so absolutely crucial for this win. And I mean, again, so many moments you could say ended up being crucial tonight, but just a great overall effort. Nobody really stood out except Gabriel Moreno, right? I mean, you got Perdomo doing, getting on base 4 times, like Damon said. Ketel Marte 1 for 5 with an RBI, but you could argue the biggest RBI, the biggest hit of the game. Same thing with Lourdes, 1 for 4 with 2 RBI, but again, his biggest hit of the game. Those 2 hits were just incredible.
Same thing with Corbin with that throw.
Yeah,
I mean, you could say that the game isn't won if he doesn't make that throw, obviously.
Like, so many people contributed to this win, and this is the exact type of baseball that the Diamondbacks are. When you talk about what is this team's identity, it's this exact win, this exact type of game, right? And I mean, again, I know that the Reds are a team that, like, oddly enough, are having a good season, yet they still find themselves 13 games back, I believe, in their division because of how good the Brewers and the Cubs are in that division. But, I mean, this is just one win. It's just a step in the direction towards that wild card. However, the Diamondbacks do not play a lot of teams that are ahead of them in the wild card standings between now and the end of the season. So this particular series even though I refused to call it a must-win, is a must-win. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it was a must-win. It is a must-win. And hopefully Nabil Krizmat can get the job done.
It's a tough one tomorrow, man.
That is a tough draw right there, especially against Abbott, who has just been outstanding for the Reds this year. But with how weird the Diamondbacks season has been, Damon, this would be the exact type of game that they would win tomorrow. But I don't want to get ahead of myself because I still want to talk about this game. I can't stop talking about this game. Another play defensively that we haven't talked about is the double play between Geraldo Perdomo, whose name I can't even say right now, and Blaze Alexander. What a freaking move by Blaze there to get that second out and keep the game once again tied there late, get the runner at third base and get the double
fist
play.
Pump?
Oh, and the fist bump. I love this man.
Me too,
I love Blaze
man.
Alexander so freaking much.
Me too, man.
Like, I mean, he really feels like the vibes guy for this team, right? You know, it's funny because
Gabi and Blaze. It's always been Gabi and Blaze.
It's always been Gabi and Blaze and Perdomo.
Well,
right?
Of course.
Yeah, but
we'd have like 3 wins this season if it wasn't for Perdomo, it feels like.
No, for sure. Coco Flojo says, when it all seems improbable is when the Dbacks activate. And again, we're going to get to it. We got some sound from the clubhouse, and Ketel Marte is going to get you fired up when it comes to that. But we got to name our King Snake, and I think there is no doubt at all who is our King Snake in this game. Welcome back, Gabriel Moreno. 2 for 4 tonight, 1 home run, 3 RBI, 1 run scored, and 1 game-saving tag that changed everything and kept this game at least within reach for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they somehow pulled out the win late. Damon, I need to get some sound. Do we got anything? What do we got? Do we got anything from the clubhouse?
Yeah, we got plenty of some stuff we've already touched on tonight. Do you want to hear about maybe that double play since we were just talking about it?
I need to hear about that double play.
Torey Lovullo on the double play.
Yeah, I think that was a critical moment. You're hoping that in that particular matchup, it's not a mystery. We want to have that part of the lineup facing lefties, and it was a great play. It was a heady play. The most impressive part of it was Blaze, who hasn't really played third base and has probably never practiced that play, was able to turn around and find the bag. What you're trained to do is find the bag first, get near it, and then catch a throw. But he got a little mixed up and he found his way to the bag. But I think, once again, the play to right field that Corbin caught and the play that you're talking about, that's execution at the most critical moment. That's what we train for.
I was going to ask Torey in that moment if this was the best defense they've played late in a game all season long, but I didn't need to because I'm 100% confident it was. Like, they've played solid defense. They've made good plays to win baseball games and not let things slip away. I know at their record, we sit here and want to pretend like they've lost almost every game this year, but they've had some great moments too, even though they've had some painful ones that we've all experienced. This is different. This was a game that, for all intents and purposes, late, they should have lost. With that mistake made by John Curtis, allowing that run to score and essentially allowing the runner that should have been out to maneuver to second base and now be in the same position as the ghost runner with no outs and down by or up by 1 run, it probably should have been rubber wrap for this Arizona Diamondbacks team. And they just absolutely kept it locked in. And I can't say enough about how exciting it was to watch this game. It had everything. It was like a great movie. You had your moment of desperation, you had your all is lost moment, and then the heroes came storming back and did exactly what heroes do and win this game. And of course, I do want to hear, do we have Gabi yet? Because no, not Gabi yet. Do we have more from Torey though on overall what went down with Gabi and his night coming back?
Yeah, I have Torey here on the win as a whole, and he talks about Gabi in it.
This team's hungry. They won't quit. You can see what's going on out there. You guys are watching the same thing that I am. I'm just really proud of these guys. We lose the lead, we keep fighting, and we tie the score on an unbelievable at-bat by Ketel Marte. We win the game on a quality at-bat by Gurriel, but there's so many things that took place inside of it. I don't even know where to start. Corbin's throw is probably the first thing I'd like to think about. that gets us out of that mess. These guys are executing. They're going out there and playing the game full speed. They're just teeing it up and letting it eat the best way they know how. And that's what I ask. That's our standard. That's what we do here. We don't hold back and play full speed. When it's done right, it looks like that. Nelly set the tone for us. It was 6 quality innings. And just he got nicked up in that last inning, but I felt like he was making really good pitches. I took him out of the game. It was kind of a 50-50 ball, but I just wanted to maneuver into the bullpen. I felt like I had the right pieces in the right place with the right matchups, and it held. It held good enough for us to win this game. We're a different team with Gabriel Moreno in this lineup. Nothing against anybody else that's been holding down the fort for him, but you can see what he could do with one swing of the bat. He clips their pitcher for 3 runs and gets us a nice lead, and we were kind of pacing the game because of that home run. So it's been a long time coming. We've missed him, and we are a totally different team. And you can go back to the 23 season when he got hurt and then when he came back. That's how we all feel getting him back in this lineup. But great win. We're going to enjoy it, and we got to reload tomorrow. I mean, the team that's in front of us that we got to continue to chase is in our building, and I want us to go out and play another quality baseball game.
The calling card for this team when they've had success has been resiliency, and obviously we know that that they've been able to in the past play small ball, find ways to win. I think that there were some frustrating moments in this game, like when Gabriel Moreno did get on base, and it didn't feel like there was a strategic that was in the bottom of the 9th inning. Didn't feel like there was a strategic, move to try to move him over. It just felt like it was guys trying to mash dingers to win the game. And it's like, I think that maybe a little different approach there late in the game might have been a little bit more effective. Maybe they get that run across and we don't have to go to 11 innings. This does have ramifications going forward, especially for tomorrow, because if Nabil Crismatt can't give this team the effort that he gave them last time, then they're going to need their bullpen, and their bullpen was fairly used quite a bit tonight. This is the 4th time the Diamondbacks have used 7+ pitchers in a game. The last time they did it was back on August 5th against the San Diego Padres. So, this resiliency from this team, the way that they bounce back. I mean, this is very reminiscent of our beloved answerbacks that we knew and loved so well. And Torey talked about that resiliency showing itself tonight, and in these 1-run games that they've been playing, because they've played a lot of them over their last 13 game stretch, 8 1-run games, which they are 5-3. Here's what Torey had to say about it.
Game of adjustments. I think when Curtis knocked the ball down and threw it away, that was painful. It was painful to watch. I saw the reaction, the response that everybody had, and we were down. But we did enough. I thought Jerry did a great job of creating a mound visit. He slowed it all down, pulled everybody together, and made some comments. I haven't found out what he said, but made some comments to the guys to settle them down a little bit. And at the end of it, I feel like we were ready to execute. What does it say? This team's hungry and they want to win. They know what's in front of us. It's a slow drip. We're not going to make up 5.5 games in the next 2 days. You make up a game a week and you're right in this thing. So we just got to keep playing good baseball. Fighting and believing that they can win any game at any time. That's what I've been talking about. That's what I've been focusing on, is the 1-run games. Those 50-50 games, I think we've thrown a couple away because we might have taken some things for granted. That's where I get a little frustrated. I know the players do. The next day they'll come in and talk about it with me and talk about the things they need to do to get better. So they're doing something about it. They're talking about it and they're getting it done.
Well, Torey isn't the only person we heard from tonight. Of course, Ketel Marte, like I said, had a huge night for this team as well, even though he just had that one hit. That one hit ended up being very critical. Ketel discussed his 13-pitch at-bat that resulted in that game-tying single. Here's what he had to say.
Ponerla buenos juegos, tratar de dar un fly, tratar de dar un sacrificio.
Main focus was to put the ball in play. Obviously, once you do that, you wanted to put it in the air, and it actually, he was able to execute it.
Sí, mientras más foul daba, más mejor me ponía.
So, obviously, the more you foul it off, the better his timing would get.
We've heard that quite a bit from these guys, because some of those big hits from Lourdes and now Ketel have occurred because they took long at-bats and got to see lots of pitches, and they've talked about how seeing those pitches allows your timing to get right, fouling those pitches off and having an at-bat there like Ketel had. But this was his best at-bat of the season? At-bat of the year?
I was saying best Dbacks AB of the season.
Yeah.
From anyone.
Yeah, I mean...
13 pitches in that moment.
I love a good battle, right? Once you get past 6 pitches, you're in a battle.
I mean, he fouled off everything. He was not... Like Torey's about to say here, I realize we didn't play the clip yet, but Torey's about to say it here. He was not striking out in that at-bat.
Yeah. Well, this is what Torey had to say about Ketel's 13-pitch at-bat.
Yeah, it was great. And the fans loved it too. He's got so much support from the fans. I could hear him shouting around the dugout. And the fans have been unbelievable. You know, I've seen some awesome things here over the past couple of months. When we haven't been playing our best baseball, they continue to support us. I heard a roll call out in right field. That was awesome, the way they do it in New York. And if I had any social media, I'd be out there saying continue doing it, because I think the players loved that roll call. But they support him. We support him. We know that it's been a little gritty for him, but I think he blocks that out. When it's 13-pitch at bat, he's using his hands to stay inside of the baseball. He wasn't going to strike out. That was clearly seen by some of the swings that he was taking to fight off quality pitches. And he knew Ashcraft was going to crowd him, and he just got enough of the ball to get that big base hit. But to find that inning was a great moment.
Yeah, well, Torey says, do the roll call. Piece of Yoshi says, guys, please don't do the roll call. And then Maze Devil says, I guess we're roll calling, because if it's going to result in this type of game, we will roll call for all the remaining, we got 8 days left in this month, or 9 days left in this month, and then 30 days in September. So 39 more days. We're roll calling the whole time. We're roll calling. That's what we're doing. But you heard the man. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this break, we have more from Ketel, more from Gabi. Of course, we're going to talk about the pitching and so much more. So, of course, don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, of course, Rally House is a brand new partner, and I am thrilled that we are partnering together with Rally House, because they make sports gear, and you know I love sports gear. If you love sports gear, make sure to check out Rally House. It's the go-to shop for all your favorite local Arizona team gear, with tens of thousands of products to shop from. Check out Rally House. It's available in your location right now. There's shop locations in Tempe, Mesa, and Glendale today. If you haven't checked out Rally House for all your game day needs, you can get everything you need there. Jerseys, got them. Drinkware, signage, coolers for a party at your house. Little tray for snacks, they got them. Sunscreen, they even got that with your team logo on it. Whatever you're looking for, you need for game day, they got you connected over there at Rally House. They carry only Arizona sports teams too, so you're not going to have to worry about looking at those disgusting other jerseys for the rest of the NL West when you go to Rally House. Every time you visit a Rally House, you're guaranteed to find something new, unique, and that matches your game day vibe. Find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment today online at rallyhouse.com. And of course, everyone needs a checking account. You need a checking account to shop over there at Rally House online. And I would strongly suggest checking out Mountain America Credit Union because they have a checking account that is built for your style with their MyStyle Checking Account. Get the account with built-in benefits. Mountain America's MyStyle Checking Account has perks just for you. You can enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, all things that would cost you extra that you get as part of your perks with your MyStyle Checking Account. You also get identity protection, loan rate discounts, and discounts on travel, events, and so much more. Make MyStyle your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/MyStyle to apply. Insured by NCUA, membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions do apply. Don't miss out on our friends in Mountain America. They've been around since the 1930s, by the way, with hundreds of branches across Arizona,
Same as
Utah,
you, Derek.
Idaho, Montana, and Nevada. I don't like that. That wasn't a good joke. That wasn't a funny joke. That hurt my feelings. I've been called old 3 times tonight, including by Ryan Thompson, who also called me short because I had to get on my tippy toes in order to give him a hug in the clubhouse. So that's just a fun sidebar fact. But we do have more here, like I said, from Ketel Marte, because Ketel was just commenting on everybody. First, we have Ketel Marte talking about Gabi being back. Here's what he had to say about Moreno being back in the lineup.
Gabi es tremenda pieza, tremendo pelotero, tremendo catcher. Esperamos en Dios que esté saludable. Yo sé que el trabajo que hizo él puede hacer más a menudo.
So a wonderful piece to the team. He hopes that he stays healthy throughout, and he's able to help the team.
Well, I mean, he did more than help the team. You could say Gabriel Moreno is the reason that this team won this game tonight. And again, another reason why was because of Corbin Carroll and his tremendous defense and his tremendous throw. Corbin, I know, again, is a guy that in the past has talked about working on his throwing, like Damon brought up, and you're seeing the results of that. It's similar, Damon, to his batting stance change too, right? Like it was kind of, I mean, it was a lot. It was very different from his batting stance last season. And, you know, I think that when we first saw that he made a drastic change like that, you have concerns that it's not going to work out for him. But boy, if you thought that, you were wrong, because Corbin Carroll's batting stance paid off, and the work that he did to improve his ability to throw in from the outfield has definitely gotten better, as was displayed tonight. We do have more from Corbin Carroll here on that throw. Here's what Corbin had to say. Okay, well, we'll get that to you in 1 second. But of course, yeah, here we go. Here's Corbin on his throw.
Yeah, I think a couple different factors there. Obviously, fair foul, and then the depth, and yeah, just you got to think about the base runner too, and you know all those things are factors.
Ketel just said that was a Gold Glove throw. You just added that tool to your box this year. It just made it so much stronger. We've talked about this before, but it just keeps happening over and over. It's got to feel pretty good to get the results from all that hard work.
Yeah, definitely. You know, just I want to help this team, and I think that's a way in which I can, is just holding my own up there in the outfield and trying to make a couple plays and help the pitcher out. So, you know, definitely happy with that work.
What do you think of Gabi's tag?
Yeah, that was the highlight of the play, really. Just super athletic play.
Well, as Jack alluded to, Ketel Marte did have a very, I guess, a very affirmative thing to say about Corbin's throw. Here's what Ketel said about Corbin's throw.
What do you think of Corbin's throw?
That's a Gold Glove throw.
No translator needed on that one for sure from Ketel Marte. And I don't think you needed to ask anybody what they thought of Corbin Carroll's throw. I think we all saw it with our own eyeballs and know how good it was, right? But Ketel also got us a little bit fired up, as we mentioned before, because Ketel Marte said the thing. He was asked, made a comment basically about this feeling like 2023, and our guy Jack Summers from Snakes Territory asked him to elaborate further on what exactly that meant. Here's what Ketel had to say.
Lo mismo que vi en el 2023 son lo mismo que estoy viendo ahora.
So similar to 2023, he's got a feel and a vibe about that season.
What's most about 2023 for you? It's most similar.
¿Qué es lo que se le acerca más a esa temporada?
Que estamos jugando con mucha hambre.
That we're thirsty. We want to play the game the right way.
We are thirsty. We are thirsty, Damon. I've never needed my thirst quenched more. Can we put that on a shirt with a snake around? Can we get that up on the shop by tomorrow? Please?
I'm on my hands and knees for it, Derek.
It's all I've ever wanted. Take my money. Take here's my wallet. Take my money. You can have it because I want it on a shirt. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this team.
It's with a Circle K logo on it.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
right, Ina.
Absolutely. That's just I'm fired up. Now I'm ready.
Now we're starting to put some pieces together on this puzzle board, Derek. But I got to say, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. And it's convenient that on a night like tonight, sweet Killer Rex is not here to celebrate.
We really are living our best life, aren't we?
With all the people.
The biggest Torey shill on the planet is not here to talk about this big win. Oh
I
my
know.
God. He's probably too devastated from the fact they let his favorite coach, Sean Larkin, go to be here on this podcast. And I understand that. So shout out to you, Killer Rex. Glad you're not here. But
It's probably because he hates Ketel Marte so much.
he does hate Ketel Marte.
And he's trying to drive him out of town.
Yeah, him and Dan Bickley and all of those guys, they're all very anti-Ketel Marte. But Killer X, he's the most anti-Ketel Marte that there is. But we're done with him now. We're not done with Gabi, though. Gabi, with his adorable son, gave us some amazing moments there in the clubhouse, including Gabi talking about that throw and the tag. And he was also asked which one was better. He didn't hold back. Here's what Gabi had to say.
Oof, yeah. That was pretty good tag, really. Honestly, yeah. Corey make a good throw right there. I just got to tag him. I do the possible what I can. And I just tag him. Really good double play right there.
What was better, the throw or the tag?
The tag. I know Corbin gonna say something, but like he knows the tag. That was really good.
I love it. I love it. We needed this man back in our lives. We needed this man back in our lives. And yes, Candace, the baby, adorable. I fist bumped the baby. We reenacted the scene with Booker and the baby wearing the Supreme shirt. It was great stuff. But what's more important is Gabi just being back. And I mean, he was even asked about the time off that he missed, and he was not expecting to be gone 60 plus days like he was. But he did discuss being back. Here's what Gabi had to say about returning to the lineup.
Feel good after almost 2 months and a half doing rehab. So feel good back on the field and keep doing my job. That's what I always want. So finally back.
Now, the Diamondbacks are a connected team, but they haven't felt connected this year, right? And I mean, again, Gabi hasn't been gone the whole year. He's only been gone for the last 60 days. Yet somehow him coming back feels like that missing piece of the puzzle. Now, Gabriel Moreno is a part of this core. He might not be extended yet in the same way the other guys are, and I'm sure the team would love to do that. They might not be able to make that deal work based on Gabriel Moreno maybe betting on himself a little bit more and not wanting to sign a contract extension. I'm just speculating there. I have no idea. It's just because it hasn't gotten done, and we would all love to see it get done. But Moreno being back does feel like this team is whole, and there's obviously a lot of pieces still missing due to injury that the Diamondbacks won't get back. Not only will they not get him back for the rest of this year, but they won't get him back until well past the midpoint of next season. So there's not a lot to have confidence about as far as, you know, this team is concerned, except for the fact that they seem to play their best baseball when you tell them that they're not going to win, that they're not going to play good baseball, that they're not going to be able to, you know, beat these teams that are set before them. You start telling them how difficult their schedule is, with one of the hardest schedules left between now and the end of the season. And this Diamondbacks team just wants to defy you and defy those odds and defy everything. And maybe that, again, is the problem. I've talked about it several times, but it just feels like this team can only actually succeed when they're an underdog. And when you have people telling them that they can't do it, so that they have that FU energy. And right now, that FU energy felt very strong, very, very strong. And I dig it. But again, Gabi being back is a big thing for this team, big thing for Corbin. Here's Corbin talking about winning with the teammates that he grew up with and that core that is now making up the Diamondbacks team.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do. You know, it's just, it feels different when it's kind of like the guys that you've come up with and played together with. Yeah, just fun bonds, both on and off the field.
Yeah, Gabriel Moreno's baby is louder than Corbin in that clip, and he's on the other side of the room. But Corbin's a soft-spoken cat, and I'm going to let him be. He's a big cat, and he's a soft-spoken big cat, but we're going to let him definitely continue to be that if he's going to deliver the way he delivered tonight. Meanwhile, on the pitching side of things, we saw Ryne Nelson throw more breaking balls in the first inning than we've ever seen Ryne Nelson throw, and it resulted in 2 strikeouts. And it was discussed a little bit about that game plan. Obviously, Gabi Moreno being back was part of that game plan, but Reds fans, like I said before, were actually in our mentions talking about Ryne Nelson using pine tar. because they saw the dirty spot on his hat. You know, the spot that he touches literally after every time he throws a ball. He goes, ball thrown, licks fingers, touches hat. Ball thrown, licks fingers, touches hat. Tell me you haven't watched Ryne Nelson pitch without telling me you watched Ryne Nelson pitch by accusing him of using pine tar, as if the umpire isn't over there, you know, looking him deep in his eyes and giving him the Dan Blandino while like checking him out. But his performance there in the second inning, I think, quickly ended all of those accusations of him cheating. He allowed a leadoff walk and then gave up an RBI double to keep Brian Hayes that tied the game at 1. Jose Trevino would single. Then he walked Matt McClain. The Trevino single would drive in Hayes to give the Reds a 2-1 lead. And then he would eventually get the final two outs in the inning after Brian Kaplan came out for a mound visit. But then once Brian Kaplan came out and gave him a mound visit, Ryne Nelson for a brief period of time was just unhittable again. He would go on to sit down the next 11 batters in a row. And it was just an impressive performance. He did, no matter his breaking ball usage early, it's like he can't help himself but go back to heavy fastball usage. He did end up throwing his fastball 55% of the outing. He maxed out on that fastball at 97.4 miles per hour tonight. Ryne Nelson is just, that fastball is just killer. His season average is 95.6 miles an hour. So he had a little extra on it tonight. And Damon, I think we have the pitch chart there of one Ryne Nelson. But yeah, again, he just does a great job here of keeping, you know, he keeps that 4-seam up.
Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, I had Jesse Jr. with me.
What the hell is this?
If you ever want to see him again, you got to dye your beard teal and give me some Sour Patch Kids.
What in the actual hell was that? What was that, Damon? Was that freaking Blaze Alexander has my snake, bro?
I didn't touch any buttons.
What the hell was that?
I think Blaze just hacked in to our stream.
Did Blaze just say that he has my freaking snake, bro? What? I have to bring him, I have to dye my, I was not going to do the beard thing. Gino hit 40 tonight. You guys know that. Can we play it again? Can he hack?
No, it was it was live.
Can we? What did he?
He left.
Oh my God! And how did he get my snake? Leah. Oh, I'm Leah Merrill. And I'm telling you, she has something to do with this.
You better dye that beard, Derek.
Oh.
He's driving a tough bargain right now.
I hate that. I hate that.
Do we negotiate with terrorists?
Absolutely not, but I negotiate with Blaze Alexander. He's a sweet, sweet baby boy.
He stole Jesse Jr.
And he wants Sour Patch Kids too?
Grow up.
Like he got a freaking kid to give him Sour Patch Kids for a baseball the other day. This man needs to be stopped. Does he look like a guy that needs more sugar to any of you? Oh, Blaze, you monster. I'm upset. But anyway, I don't know what else to say. And 2BMC says that's a hefty ransom he's asking for. What if I didn't have a beard to dye? I'm just saying, what if going forward I just don't have a beard? I don't think anybody wants that. Nobody wants to look at that. But what were we talking about? Ryne Nelson? I guess,
man. I mean, I can't get my mind off of this Jesse Jr. situation.
Yeah, like quite frankly.
Where is he? Where is Blaze holding him?
Was he at the ballpark tonight? What if Blaze would have hit a home run?
Let me ask.
Do you think that they would have had him around Blaze, around his shoulders? Did Jesse Jr. celebrate with the team tonight in the clubhouse, Damon? These are things I need an answer to, and I am not going to freaking be able to rest until I get these answers. All right. Well, Ryne Nelson he did throw the slider quite a bit tonight. I'm supposed to get things back on track. I don't know how I can get things back on track. I'm distraught now. I'm distraught. Candace says Jesse Jr. is living his best life right now. I'm sure. Yes, he probably is. He gets to hear things, Damon, that I would never hear, and see things I would never get to see in that clubhouse. Anyway. Well, Ryne Nelson again got 10 whiffs tonight, 5 from that 4-seam fastball, which he has to throw. He went 6 innings tonight, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 2, struck out 6. Let's hear from Ryne Nelson on the win, and maybe does he have any more news on this team holding my snake hostage?
I think personally didn't have my best stuff tonight. It was a bit of a battle, a bit of a grind. But overall, I just very proud of this team and the way we fought tonight. I thought it was just a very gritty performance and all around. And it's hard to pick a player of the game. You got a bunch of big moments, Gabi's homer and Ketel's at bat, Corbin's throw, and Perdomo's play out there to get the double play. I think it was just a very hard-fought win, and I think that's the kind of baseball that this team can play, and yeah, super proud.
B says that's one of my favorite D-backs talking right now, the ultimate team player. You are so right. Ryne Nelson is that. I also want to say that there's something to Ryne Nelson's post-game speech that felt like you're seeing the maturation of Ryne Nelson. Like, he went out there and he said some things in that speech that just sounded a little bit more like a leader and a little less like that young guy that kind of is thrown around in the starting lineup and in the bullpen and things, and just kind of always gave an answer similar to like, yeah, whatever, like, I'll do whatever the team asks me to do. Well, I mean, now he's doing what the team asked him to do by going out there and giving them quality starts and giving them opportunities to win. Of course, those 6 strikeouts, again, on our Circle K strikeout meter means you win, because you win with every K at Circle K. Text STRIKE to 31310 to start saving on fuel, food, and drinks after every D-backs home game. Tonight, those 6 strikeouts, once again, will get you a free any size hot coffee.
Maze Devil made a comment that I'm not going to put on screen, but it is funny. But also, he says real pitching. And that's goddamn right, Maze Devil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, the one thing, we can't go to that pitch chart because Blaze Alexander apparently freaking hacked in here and destroyed it. But
no, we could go to the pitch chart.
Can we go
here.
to the pitch chart? Okay, let's go to the pitch chart because I'd like to still see that. He, again, the attacking the zone, right? Like when you see his, excuse me, I'm all over the place. Blaze has me, I'm upset. Oh, I just can't believe it's always the ones you love the most that you're closest to. I bet Ryan Thompson has something to do with this too. I know it. But yeah, like you don't see a lot of pitchers here from Ryne Nelson outside the zone. You see the slider down and out of the zone. And again, he said he had a good feel for it tonight, but that's the pitch that he does throw down. He tries to keep down and away from batters. But yeah, a lot of pitches in the zone. You're not seeing like a Brandon Pfaadt or a Zach Gallen start where there's a bigger spread here. He really does keep a lot of his pitches there and attacks the zone. And there was one strikeout that was like that I think it was the final one to end the first inning where he just threw a freaking slider at like 89 in the corner that just froze the batter up. And I mean, I sat there looking at that pitch thinking, if Ryne Nelson can do that, y'all are in trouble, because his fastball is already one of the best fastballs in Major League Baseball. And if he somehow finds a way to incorporate either that slider or either that changeup into his routine, he's going to be even better than he is. And again, 5 whiffs tonight on the breaking stuff, 5 whiffs tonight on the 4-seam. And again, this team is just playing real good baseball. Ryan discussed the hot stretch that this team is going through after the game. Here's what he had to say.
I think tonight was a perfect example of what this group has in them, and the resiliency and the never say die kind of mentality. And I think that the game doesn't always go your way, and there's going to be balls that find holes and all sorts of stuff. It's baseball, but you can control the way you fight back and the way you go out there and battle and bring the energy. So I think that's what this team can do.
Well, I also asked him after the game there about, if the focus was a little bit more there on throwing off-speed stuff, especially early on. Here's what he said about it.
Yeah, I think it had been feeling good, and it's come a long way. And so sometimes you try to mix it up and get them off balance, and they weren't biting at it early, and ended up getting a hold of some heaters. So just adjustments and go back out there and switch the game plan, try to keep them off balance.
Well, again, I was wondering when we were going to see that tip in that direction, because it's like, even though Ryne Nelson does throw a great fastball, if you know a fastball's coming, that's gonna be easy for you to wait on and eventually hit. But I guess that's easier said than done when it comes to Nelly's fastball, because it's very good. Bullpen was pretty damn good tonight, but some pieces did not do their job. Obviously, we know that Juan Burgos, can't say enough about what he has brought to the Diamondbacks since being acquired in the Gino Suarez trade. He has a 2.31 ERA this season in the big leagues, Damon. Yes, that's 11 2/3 innings pitched, so it's a small sample size, as is his time with the Diamondbacks. However, in 5 innings of relief work for the Diamondbacks, this man has not allowed a run, not a single earned run. And that is something impressive to say about somebody that was playing at a minor league level and was brought in here and immediately asked to take on not only a full-time bullpen role, but to take on, a high leverage bullpen role that Juan Burgos at times has been asked to take on. So he has responded well, and he has been excellent. Meanwhile, Kyle Backus, not as good. He struggled tonight a little bit. He ended up giving up the tying run in this game that allowed the Reds to tie it up at 4 and send it into extra innings. Then we had some very good outings there from Juan Murillo, who gave them 2/3 of an innings pitched with nothing. Andrew Saalfrank gave him an inning, nothing, no hits, no nothing, right? But then John Curtis, John, you get out of here. John Curtis is not, I'm furious with John. I told you, get out of here. Scram, you screwed up tonight. You made a bad throw, and I'm mad at you. John Curtis definitely tried to give the game back to the Reds in his inning of work, especially with that throwing error there. It was one of those moments where you're just like, you see him pick it up and you see him turn to the base and you almost just yell out. I am not allowed to yell at the players from the press box. That's frowned upon. But when he did pick it up, I was like, internally, I was screaming, and it resulted in the exact play that I was afraid we were going to see from him. But overall, like I said, the Diamondbacks used 7+ pitchers tonight. Shout out to Jalen Beeks for going out there and doing his job in his inning of work and keeping this game tied up. Overall, just a great performance by parts of the bullpen. And again, parts of the bullpen that you are seeing that the Diamondbacks can rely on. Juan Murillo is starting to feel like one of those guys. Andrew Saalfrank definitely is becoming one of those guys. And Jalen Beeks is getting things back on track a little bit. His ERA is still north of 4. So I'll reserve judgment on him, but I'm cautiously optimistic that he can be a good lefty for this team out of the pen. I still don't understand why he went on like a 2-week hiatus of not being used, even though he wasn't put on the IL, but maybe there was something there that was ailing him. Overall, though, just a very exciting win, and a win that I did not think that we were going to be talking about after this game. So we're going to take a quick break. I know we're going long here, but we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at the numbers from this game and see exactly where the Diamondbacks stand in the drunken orgy of violence that we refer to as the NL West. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, of course, like we've said time and time again, it is never ordinary when you're watching the Diamondbacks play baseball, and it is never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide, and they pioneered live in-game betting. They offer the widest range of games and markets across 78 sports for live in-game betting. And right now, you can get down on the early payout offer with MLB with any baseball game you bet on. Of course, you are a winner if your team goes up by 5 runs, regardless of the actual outcome of the game. You will be marked as an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections, which will be marked as winners. So get down on the baseball betting. Of course, new customers right now can sign up and use our code of PHNX365. But breaking news, we're not just talking about $150 in bonus bets any longer. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use that code of PHNX365, deposit $10, and place a bet of $5 or more to receive $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, players, props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or over and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, of course, nobody does it better. We will be out there with our PHNX residency, but as I've said in the past, Don't wait for that. Go out there anytime and have yourself a great time at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You can lounge at either of their AAA 4-diamond resorts and let relaxation take charge. Go out there by the pool, get yourself a frosty beverage, live your best life. Or go out for a night on the town, check out their over 4,500 live table games and slots on their gaming floor. And maybe just stay the night. We're going to have a little offer for you a little bit later on our PHNX residency to help sweeten the pot and maybe get you to stay out on a Thursday evening. But again, like I said, you don't have to wait for us. You can go have fun anytime at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathila.com for more details. All right, well, Damon's laughing, and that means we got super chats to get to. Damon, what do we got?
They're out of control from BCSC tonight.
Right.
We'll just read them in order here because I think we're gonna need some palate cleansers in between potentially.
I was gonna say, do we just BCSC this segment? I mean, is this segment proudly brought to you by BComC Clearly?
Pretty much,
All
yeah.
right.
I mean, there are a few non-BCSC super chats, but like I said, they're good. They're good kind of in betweeners, talking more about baseball.
All right.
BCSC starts us off $5. What Saucy Santana say bounce? That's what I want to see Adrian Daddy do. And I don't forget about Big Daddy Cake. LGJ, I'm high now boots.
Man.
Said, BCSC, right off the jump.
Yeah, well said.
Well said. My nips hurt. Our friend My Nips Hurt, the Nats fan, says for $5. Thank you, My Nips Hurt. Says call it Reds Dead Redemption. But Arthur got bit by a Diamondback as opposed to tuberculosis. Wow.
This is why My Nips Hurt is my favorite Washington Nationals fan, because as Damon knows, my original title instead of Red Herring was, in fact, Red Dead Redemption. So you and I are very much on the same page.
What a reference, too, though, if you've ever played the game.
Yeah. The Diamondback killing him instead of tuberculosis, for sure. Rest in peace, Arthur.
Yeah, that's the saddest video game death ever.
Yeah.
Zach Gonzalez, 199. On a side note, Gino hit Homer 40 tonight.
Apparently, Blaze took notice of that too. Was this his plan the whole time?
It seems like he was waiting for Gino
to kidnap and abduct my son and then force me into this stupid beard bet. Do I need to remind you, Blaze Alexander, and the rest of you in the chat, that Gino Suarez does not play baseball for the Arizona Diamondbacks? I felt like I was very clear about that part of the bet. All right, what else we got? What other super chats do we have?
Next super chat, BCSC. I'm not the candidate to vibe with Moreno. I don't know about that.
You might be.
Gabi seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
$10 from BCSC says, this is to straight up win this top super chat award. We are one. We are them ninjas. We are the zone backs, LOL. To the PG censors, Donzel is a presidential candidate. Look out for the midterms.
Okay.
Again, well said by BCSC. Bees, $2. The Roger Beshens football slider will save us. It already has, Bees.
Yeah.
I'm the astronaut pointing the gun from behind you. It already has.
Yeah.
Candace, $5. This one is for Jesse Jr. Heartbroken emoji.
Me too. I'm heartbroken. Blaze.
And then BCSC, is it me, YouTuber, you guys? You're good, BCSC. We see the super chats all right. Then says, this team is Viva La Vida. We hear Jerusalem bells ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing, and yes, St. Peter will call my name. Only honest words. And then last but not least is Ryne Nelson single, because I need that.
All right, well.
BCSC, unbelievable.
I mean, you've outdone yourself. And quite frankly, tomorrow morning, you're going to very much, I think, regret some of those super chats. Not because of what you said, but based on your bank account. However, we love you and we appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that. Let's take a look at the count presented by our friends at Desert Financial, because this one's a whole heck of a lot of fun. Diamondbacks win this one by a score of 6-5. Killer logo usage there, Damon. Top tier.
Thanks, brother, man.
Yeah, that is top tier. We got 8 hits for the Diamondbacks to 6 hits for the Reds. The Reds were 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks were 3 for 6. Extra base hits, the Diamondbacks had 3. The Reds had just 2. And then expected batting average, 223 for the Reds, 280 for your Arizona Diamondbacks. That's a good win. That's a good win. That's a good all-around thorough team victory. The only player on this team tonight that had 2 hits, Gabriel Moreno, who is obviously our king snake for all the right reasons. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at the drunken orgy of violence we call
Right
the
after
NL
we
West.
go into overtime.
Oh, we got to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
I've not
time,
been paying
baby.
attention. Yeah, let's do overtime, or as I try to demand to call it, I try to get it extra innings. They said no. That's a hockey light. We don't even have one of those anymore. I don't understand what's going on with that whole thing. That was definitely created by people that live in Denver, Colorado for sure. But let's take a look at the drunken orgy of violence that we call the NL West. Of course, the Dodgers still sit atop of our division. I believe they lost to the Padres tonight. Is that why these two teams are tied, or was this prior to that game finishing, Damon?
I believe it was after. I mean,
Okay.
I checked to make sure that there were no ongoing games when I made this standings. I'll check it real quick here.
Well,
but I believe that, yeah, we got a tie at the top here in the division, and the Diamondbacks gaining some ground here on the San Francisco Giants. Giants. What happened?
We are firmly in third place right now, and I will take that. And the Diamondbacks, of course, sit at 63 and 66, 10 games back in the division. However, just 5.5 games back in the wild card because those Mets won today, didn't they? They did win today. So the Diamondbacks remain 5.5 back. However, they do gain ground on the Cincinnati Reds, who are now 1.5 back. The Diamondbacks only have 2 teams between them and the Mets, the Reds and the Cardinals. And the Cardinals, quite frankly, are right in a very similar position as the Diamondbacks. They are 64 and 66. They just have a half a game lead on the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks could theoretically be very close to the Reds after this series if they are somehow able to pull off the series win or the series S word. But again, just a very, just a really well done, I don't know, stretch here, like of turning things around. They've done a good job of winning these close games, and that's something that they have not done all season long. They have not, as we said, this is just their 6th walk-off victory, and they had 2 in a row. It's August. It's the end of August. There's like 1 month of baseball left, and the Diamondbacks only have 6 walk-off victories this year. That's insane, right? But again, the fact that they're playing good baseball at the right time means very good things, right? Because if you get hot at the right time, you start applying that pressure to the teams in front of you, like the New York Mets, like these Reds. Right? The Diamondbacks have nothing to lose at this point. Nobody is expecting them to actually make the playoffs. Like I said, Fangraphs is still at like 1% for them to make the playoffs. However, that makes this team dangerous because they really have nothing to lose, and they are kind of playing with house money on a season that most have disregarded as being a failure. And we have no idea if it's failure yet until they get to the end of it, quite frankly, and we see how they finish. So I still think that this season can be seen as a success somewhat, even if they don't make the playoffs, but that might just be loser talk on my behalf. Take a look there, though, again, at the NL West. I think the important thing here is that the Diamondbacks now do sit firmly in third place. And even though the division is not the goal and shouldn't be what you're looking for because that extends far too beyond your eyesight here, this is still a very important move for the Diamondbacks to get into third place, to still be right there at around the 5 games back mark in the wild card. It just gives them something to play for. Torey said after the game, you're not going to make up 5.5 games in 2 games. You can't, just like you can't hit 3 home runs and 1 at bat. But what you can do is you can make up 1 game per week. And if they do that, if they can make up 1 game per week between now and the end of the season, they will be right there in the wild card race come the end of September.
Need a couple things to go your way if that happens. Like, just keep playing good baseball, worry about your own team, and hope that the rest falls into place. You're going to need some help, but it's not over.
Exactly. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of this break, we're going to hear from our brand new third base coach, Tim Bogar. So don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, it's late. We might need to get some sleep. If you're like me, you might be an excitable boy that needs to calm down, and Pure Edibles has you covered. You can check out the full line of candy that Pure Edibles has to offer, and that's exactly what they are. They are a candy company, a full-fledged candy company, offering more than just gummies. They offer their kicks, which are their version of Starburst. They offer chews, hard candies, and more. And all of those candies have a wide range of effects, including uplifting effects or sleepy time. Sometimes you just want to chill. They have an indica for that. They also have sleep edition gummies, which can help you get a great night's sleep. You can also get candies with uplifting effects derived from unique cannabinoids and give you a good afternoon. So Pure was created in Flagstaff, Arizona at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles, and they are now made right here in Phoenix, Arizona. They are designed to be ripped or bit in half, making them easily shareable or easy to dial in your exact dose. So check them out. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles from one of over 130 dispensaries across this state of Arizona. And like I said, I am a newly converted NASCAR fan. I cannot wait for championship weekend out at Phoenix Raceway. That is how I'm going to be spending Halloween. And similar to the baseball season, the NASCAR season starts in February, has a long season, and it all culminates in their championship weekend right here in Phoenix, Arizona. But it's not going to be here for long. So make sure to go get your tickets. Get your tickets to the infield experience there presented by Desert Diamond Casino, where you can get up close in the garages, meeting drivers, walking the track, catching the pre-race concert, getting selfies with the cars and everybody, just having a great time. It is the best access that you will find in any sport. So do not miss your chance to witness NASCAR Championship Weekend in person, coming to Phoenix Raceway October 31st through November 2nd. Tickets for Sunday's Cup Series Championship race sell out every single year, so make sure to get yours fast before they're gone. And here's the kicker. NASCAR is taking Championship Weekend on the road starting in 2026. So this is your last chance to catch it in Phoenix for a while. Tickets, hospitality, and upgrades are still available. Get yours now at the link in our show notes. Imagine being like, oh, the Super Bowl used to happen in our city every year. And yeah, we just didn't go. Oh, what happened? Eventually they started moving it to other cities. You'd be like, you dummy, why didn't you go watch the Super Bowl every year when it was in your city? Well, that's the same thing here with this race. But speaking of good things, speaking of fun times, I talked about the PHNX Cardinals residency out there at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. That is coming up less than a week from today on Thursday, August 28th. So come on out to the Upper Deck Kitchen Bar and Grill. Check out the Cardinals live podcast, which starts at 4:30 p.m., followed by the NFL season preview at 6, and then our PHNX Fantasy Football Staff Draft at 7 p.m. By the way, Torey today determined to draft order once again for the Arizona Diamondbacks by taking batting practice. He goes out there and he hits balls. He does not know which team or which person he's hitting the ball for, but then they calculate distance that he hit them, and they get that draft order based on which ball he hit and how far it went. The number one overall pick goes to Ryan Thompson and Pavin Smith, who co-manage a team together. So there's a little glimpse into their fantasy draft. By the way, Corbin Carroll got 12th, was not happy with Torey Lovullo. But make sure to come out for our fantasy draft. All diehards who attend will receive a free drink ticket for the event. And do you want a discounted room? We get you a discounted room. Call 1-800-WIN-HELA and use cards FF for 25% off a room for Thursday night. You heard me right, 25% off a room for Thursday night. Well, Damon, before we get out of here, we just wanted to hear really quickly from the Diamondbacks' new third base coach. The man had the easiest send of his career tonight there in the bottom of the 11th inning when he told Corbin Carroll to go.
Comment of the night comes from my guy, Blake Hanna, who tweeted at me and said that Sean Larkin would have stopped him there.
Oh, you guys are mean sometimes, but I'll tell you,
you
this
can't
much.
Send him. There's 0 outs. Why be so aggressive in that moment?
I know. I get it. Yeah, there's Sean saying it too. But Tim Bogard definitely rubs me in a way that I like. He is the kind of guy that like you just like immediately. He just seems very genuine. He just seems very much like a person that's here to help this baseball team win. And that's not to say other coaches in the staff aren't genuine, but he definitely comes across as that kind of person that when we first met him, first talked to him, he seemed a little folksy, seemed a little down to earth, and definitely seemed like a guy that had no problem being here to help this Arizona Diamondbacks team win. And that's the one thing about Tim that seemed pretty cool. He did accept the position on Wednesday night, and then things started happening. Of course, it doesn't sound like these wheels were in motion prior to that announcement after Wednesday's game. But it's a little awkward because Tim actually credited Sean Larkin for being the reason why he is with the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, right? And so the awkward part now is that he kind of replaces his friend there. Another awkward thing was that even though he's still an infield defensive coach for this team, apparently Sean Larkin cannot have a numbered jersey on because they're only allowed to have so many numbered coaches in the dugout. Similar to like what we see out like Miguel Montero. Like Miguel Montero's not down there wearing a jersey. He's just kind of in like Diamondback stuff, and he's hanging out in the dugout. He's still doing the thing. But overall here, this is just, again, this was a needed move that is made. And it very much seems like Tim Bogard might be the exact man for the job. Again, this is not... This is one of those situations that some people like Scott Howard on Twitter suggested that maybe we could put a baby over there at third base as the coach. We could put like a horse or something, and like anything would be better than Sean Larkin. One thing that Bogard discussed is that being a third base coach is very difficult, and making those judgments in those moments is. Bogard does have the experience of being an infielder, and he has the experience of being part of a World Series team when he was with the Boston Red Sox. So I will say that I definitely trust, that he can make improvements here with this team. And I think that he can definitely help them more than what Blake, more than their former coach there. So this Sean Larkin, though, again, he's going to still be with the team. He's going to be working with Bogard. The whole thing is kind of awkward to me, like I said earlier. But again, I'm very glad Tim Bogard is here. I think we have video from him now. Here's what Tim Bogard had to say about joining the team.
It was a little bit of a whirlwind, but like I said, I came over to this organization to do whatever I can to help these guys. And if this was the reason to do it, then I'm here to do it. So I'm here for the team and for Torey and the front office and everybody else.
Ryan's telling me to go to bed, and I'm just going to pull the curtain back. I'm sitting here filibustering so we can get video ready for you, Ryan. So I know I sound like I'm just yammering on, but at this point of the night, I probably shouldn't. So I'm going to let you guys go. But we are excited that the Diamondbacks did make these changes, tough changes this week that you could say resulted in today's win, right? Not only, it's not like Gabriel Moreno wasn't going to be back, but again, going with James McCann over Jose Herrera definitely seems like the right choice. Going here with a new third base coach after the lack of success they found with Sean Larkin over there sending people at third definitely feels like the right choice. And now, again, Diamondbacks are winning close games. You feel like the bullpen is pitching better. You feel like things are starting to click. And, this team's starting to win at the right time. Is it enough to really give us hope? Well, we'll see. We got 2 more games against the Reds. So let's do that. And after this series with the Reds. But a couple of super chats before we get out of here. My Nips Hurt says, to be fair, I know all these Dbacks fans wish they could smoke the Eli Willits pack like Arthur smoked all of them Pinkertons. Again, another Red Dead Redemption reference. Thank you for that. Candace, good night. Go to sleep. She said, I can't keep my eyes open any longer. Good night, guys. Remember, it's all fun and games when the Dbacks win, but it's also much more fun when Derek has to dye his beard teal. Good night. I don't like that. Never mind. We shouldn't have read that. It wasn't even a super chat. She didn't deserve that.
People were saying we had to read it.
Okay. And then BCSC has some more insane comments to make. Well, thank you for your super chats. I'm not going to make Damon read those, but we are going to get out of here. And we do thank you guys so much for your super chats. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you being here with us very late on a Friday night. We hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. We will see you back here on Monday. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at cap_caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks, but as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you, except you, Blaze Alexander. Thank you guys, the rest of you, for your time. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you don't freaking play games with my goddamn snake, Blaze. Bring him back!
We all silly like the mayor.